Hi there, Dr. John McPhee here from the Wellness Group, and welcome to this video number 2 of our Move by Design mobility series. In this video, we're going to focus on soft tissue mobility. Now, what the heck does that mean? Soft tissue is simply what we refer to the muscles, the ligaments, tendons, joint capsules, and fascia that course all throughout your body. And what happens is, as we lose the ability to move, as we stop moving, and accessing that full range of motion that we talked about in joint-to-joint mobility, what happens is that our tissues adapt. Okay, so that might mean that muscles will shorten, they may build up some scar tissue or some fibrous tissue in the muscles or in between the layers of muscles and tendons and ligaments and fascia. And all of that results in limiting your ability to move. So in the first video we go through joint-to-joint mobility, and you may have felt, okay, there's something holding me back from doing these movements. And a lot of times it is the soft tissue. And you know, it'd be great if we could all afford to go see a massage therapist every day or every other day, but in reality that's not really possible for most of us. So what we've done is come up with this program that is kind of the second best option to seeing a massage therapist regularly. We're going to incorporate two tools, so a lacrosse ball and a foam roller. Excellent tools to help work on the soft tissues. And throughout the video, what you'll notice is that as you do it, some of it may be very uncomfortable. Okay, and that's quite normal at this stage. Over time, what you should notice is that level of discomfort will drop. Okay, but at the beginning, if it is painful, that's actually a sign that you really need to be doing this daily. The second thing is that some of these movements are a little bit awkward, and the coordination that's required will take some practice. Okay, so don't get frustrated in the beginning as you're trying to balance on the foam roller and trying to get the coordination for rolling out the lower limbs particularly. It'll take some practice, but usually about 2-3 weeks of doing this consistently, and it'll be second nature. Okay, so you just got to stick with it. What we recommend is that over the first 30 days, you do this daily. I think it's great to do just after you do your joint-to-joint mobility. So in the morning, wake up, you do your 8 minutes of joint-to-joint mobility, you spend another 7-8 minutes on foam rolling and lacrosse ball work, and you're going to feel amazing. And if you do that consistently over 30 days, you're going to see dramatic changes in your ability to move your body and your mobility. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab our foam roller. I want you to sit just in front of the foam roller, and then you're going to lean back and allow your body to roll down so that the foam roller is just in between your shoulder blades. Bum on the floor, and what you're going to do, you're just going to arch over the roller, just mobilizing that upper part of your mid-back. I'm going to get you to do 4 repetitions each level, and then you're going to use your feet, roll yourself down the roller a little bit further, about 2 inches, and you're going to repeat. So 4 repetitions, just arching over the foam roller. And once again, moving the roller down the back. So I usually hit about 4 different levels. Now you may find as you get a little bit lower here that it might get a bit uncomfortable. Certainly if this is creating any pain at all, you're just going to limit that movement. You're going to just keep focused on the upper back for now. Over time, you'll find that this will, those symptoms will decrease. So here we're just rolling the muscles along the spine, so just straight up and down. You'll notice I've picked up my bum now so I can actually actively roll. Next we're going to just favor one side, so you're going to roll over so that you're catching the hind quarter of the rib cage right up into the armpit. Here's a different view just so you can see the muscles that I'm targeting. Now what you'll find is that you'll notice there's some tight bands or maybe some what we call trigger points in those muscles. So if you find one of those really tender spots, you can hold it and then just move your arm back and forth like you see me doing here. Back to the spine, we're going to just continue rolling out the muscles of the low back. Notice I'm favoring my left side now onto my right side, so just rolling the body a little bit from one side to the other.
Now you can sit on top of the roller. We're going to cross the leg so that we target the left glutes in this case. So you're targeting that whole glute region, so your buttock, all the way from the lowest part of the hip all the way up into that upper ridge in your low back. Now what I've done, I've just rolled my body over, so now I'm targeting the outside of the hip. Just a view from the back here so you can see my moving leg, in this case the left leg, is that buttock is right off the roller. And again to the outside of the hip. Now again, similar principle we did it with the shoulder. You may find, okay, if there's some tight muscles in there, maybe a little bit sore, you can hold that point and just do some active movement, pulling the knee in and out. Now we're moving to the outside of the thigh, commonly referred to as your IT band. This is one of the most popular foam rolling techniques outside of the thigh. You want to roll all the way from the hip crease all the way down to the knee. Now what I'm doing, you'll notice, is I'm starting to bring my body forward, so I'm facing the floor, so I'm targeting the front of the thigh now. Again, all the way up into that hip crease, all the way down to the kneecap. And we want to target the whole thigh, so we're actually going to continue moving our body around so we can actually get the inside of the thigh. So I just roll my leg, so now my foot is side on to the floor. And again, all the way up into the groin, all the way down to the knee. Now as you get a bit more confident with this movement, you can lift that top leg up. This will give you a little bit more resistance, it'll put a bit more pressure through the leg. So you can gauge how much weight you want to put through that target leg. Now we're going to get into some of the lacrosse ball work. So I always like to start on the bottom of the foot. Here we're just rolling back and forth. Again, you're just scanning the tissue. You're looking for any tight bands or sore spots. And if you find one of those, you can just hold it, breathe through it. You'll feel it melting away, and then you can continue searching around. Working up the leg, you can use the lacrosse ball in the Achilles tendon. Again, just rolling up and down to start, and then you can go side to side, all the way up into the gastroc, or the calf muscle. Definitely want to get it to the outside of the leg as well. And this lacrosse ball work can be fairly aggressive, so you just need to start gently and increase your pressure over time. And once again, we can incorporate some movement here. If you find a trigger point, just engage that muscle by pointing and pulling the toe up. We definitely want to get all the way into the back of the knee. This is the attachment point for the calf muscles, and also some smaller muscles that are really important for stability of the knee. We've already targeted this area with the foam roller. A little bit more aggressive, if you really want to work on improving your shoulder mobility specifically, then this is a great way to get these muscles a little bit more supple. And again, we're just placing the ball, you'll see on this view, into that outside of the back part of the shoulder. Again, this will be a little bit uncomfortable to start. Incorporating the movement just helps to retrain that muscle what a normal length is.
Alright, all we need is a lacrosse ball and a wall. What we're going to do, we're going to scan around with the lacrosse ball and find any tight spots, any sore spots, similar to what a massage therapist would do when they're scanning your muscles. Then we're going to hold that point, again, using the lacrosse ball against the wall. I want you to focus on this whole area through the chest, okay? We can get right up into that little nook and all the way around to the rib cage, at the middle side of the rib cage, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate it against the wall. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to hook the ball into that little nook to start, and I'm just going to get it against the wall, there, and I'm just going to scan around until I find one of those sore spots. Feels a little bit of a tight knot in there. And I'm just going to take some deep breaths and let it melt away. And then I can scan around again. Okay? So I'm going to scan that whole area. I'm going to spend about 90 seconds on the front of both sides before I go to the back. Okay? On the back, what I want you to focus on is this whole area around the shoulder blade up into the neck. Okay, we can even go down through the mid-back into the low back here. Okay, but for today we're just going to focus on this area. I'm going to get the ball set right in there, and then I'm just going to roll around. Again, just looking for those tight sore spots. Let it sit there, take some nice deep breaths, and you'll feel it just melt away or dissipate, and then we can scan around again. I can come all the way up into the neck, out into the shoulder, just like that.